What's the deal? What's the deal, man? We in the back house with another episode. We in here with we got Curtis King in the back house, y'all, today.
Yeah, the legend.
We finna
Carson legend, man.
I ain't gonna tell y'all what y'all finna get, but yeah. What's the deal,
Talk
man?
to him. Talk to him. They don't know about you. Tell them what it is.
First of all, my name is Curtis King. I'm from Carson, California. I'm an artist, music producer. Now I'm in the content space with YouTube.
Okay.
But yeah, I started off in Grandma's Patio.
That's how I
Grandma's
used to
Patio
do
in
it.
Carson, and that same patio, a lot of folks know the story, but that's where all of this shit started. Like, it literally was me getting to know as somebody in the neighborhood named Grim, and Grim knew everybody in Carson. At that time, I was like just in there making music, and he was like, "You ever heard somebody named Ab-Soul?" And I'm like, Nah. This is before he was with TDE. He's with someone named Street Beat, and little did I know, man, he would come to my grandma's patio, and that was the first time I ever seen somebody write a verse without a pen and pad. I'm thinking he's not fucking with the beat. I'm thinking he's not fucking with the beat, because I'm playing the beat, I got my back turned, and he's not saying nothing. He's not gonna pen and paper. I'm like, oh, I'm a terrible. But like those humble beginnings led to me working eventually with, most folks know my work early on with TDE as a producer.
Right.
One of the first records you heard with Kendrick and Ab-Soul was off of one of my beats. But I mean, the story is it's much more than just that. Like, it's multi-layered. I became an author. I did mentorship online to help other producers and artists coming up. But it's just been a wild journey.
So you're a blessing to the community.
I do the best I
You're a
can.
blessing.
Absolutely.
You're a blessing, man.
Because somebody was a blessing to me. Like, somebody gave me, they bestowed game on me to where I didn't deserve it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Or they made me earn it first so I could deserve it. So now how am I in a position to where when things go well that I don't do the same thing? So
Okay.
yeah.
So you wrote a book.
I wrote a book called The Prosperous Hip Hop Producer, and it was
I'll go get that.
Look, it was on accident
that.
too.
I was like,
Damn,
I was about to say, talk about it.
Yeah,
Because that's different to write a book.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I didn't. The thing is, I can count on my hand how many people I know that wrote a book, and one of them was my mom. My mom wrote a book called, what is it? Understanding the Heart of God Through Prayer. Because my mom has been in the church. She had me in every church in LA you could think of. Mom's playing the keys, and I was there in the front pew, like literally watching everything, watching the drummer. That's what got me into music.
Yeah.
Listening to the choir, watching the drummer, and I'm like, oh, I really want to fuck with that someday. Yeah. I'm not a drummer still, but like,
that's hard.
He was the first one I seen at AMPC. But with that said, what was the question? I'm sorry. What was the question?
No, I was just telling you to speak on writing a book.
Yeah, so she was the only example I saw that had a book, right? My pops was always, like, as a teacher, like, it's funny because Pops, he reminded me of, I was talking to Mom about this, Pops reminded me of, like, Furious Styles and Boys. He reminded me of him. Like, he was always, like, no matter what era of time it was, he was, like, the Black conscious, and now he's he's super into the he's a professor, he's super into another field now, but, man, writing a book was something I thought that it was people I never met that wrote a book.
Yeah.
And so I made a video called The Biggest Lie in Hip Hop, where I just had one of those epiphanies. I was like, nobody really trying to help nobody out here.
Yeah.
And mind you, this is way before YouTube became what it is. Nobody's trying to help nobody. And I felt like if you started teaching, people felt like you fell off. And so I made this video where I'm like, but the people who are the biggest millionaires out here all have one stream of revenue that's teaching.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that can't be by accident. They just hiding that shit from us.
Right.
Right? So when I made that connection, I was like, nah. I heard there's a speaker named Tony Robbins that says the secret to living is giving. And I took that to heart, and I said, okay, how much can I give to whatever money amount that I'm trying to get to? And with that in mind, like, I just started sharing an abundance of knowledge. I had no idea the connection that you had, of course, with glasses, but that was somebody early on that was my first placement.
Yeah.
Was through him and Mac 10. Was the first time I ever got paid for any of my music.
He was in the Bentley days.
Man,
so how did that?
The Signal Hills, the studio. Yeah. So like, but
how did that?
But I said before you get on, the book situation was I shared this information on YouTube, and there was a publisher from Florida that was like, I think you got a book in you. I'm like, I ain't never wrote no book. I might got a Facebook post for it. You know what I mean? I don't got a whole book. He walked me through it. He was like, the first thing you want to do if you ever want to write a book is write the table of contents first. and he said, just talk every chapter out like it's a voice note. Oh yeah, just every single one like it's a voice note. And are you good? Okay. Yeah. Everyone like it's a voice note. That's what I did. I just talked these chapters out. I was like, all right, let's start from Grandma's Patio in Carson, and every step of the way, thank God I had an editor that was reading it. This is before Chat GPT and all of this shit now, but he read through and was like, I understand what you want to say, but let me translate this for a book. But before I knew it, it was like a 2-year process. I mean, so much shit happened in the process where, you know, I lost my home in the process. I didn't lost cars. Like, it was like all kind of shit that was happening where I'm talking from the perspective of somebody that found success selling 6 figures with my beats, but life is really fucked up as I'm writing the chapter right now when I was writing it. So it's like, it's a crazy perspective in that I had to take some people out to thank yous because we wasn't getting along. So like, it was all in real time, but I'm grateful for this experience because you go through that. As a writer, I've always wrote songs. I've always had opportunities to like talk at length about my life. Matter of fact, that was the only class I liked in high school was English, because I loved writing like essays and all these different things about just fictional stories I would make up in my brain. Because I'm still like 90s kid, I'm a latchkey kid and all that. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, this is my opportunity to share this. And that was a journey. So after that, it opened up doors for speaking and opened up doors for, you know, when you got a book, it's like, I remember when I first met Lil Russell, we had just did an interview. I was like, oh, here, I got a book. He was like, you got a book.
Like, that's crazy.
It changes the whole
conversation. They say a lot of people can't do that. A lot of people can't like visualize certain things in their mind. Like, and I was surprised because I've written a movie, you know, a whole movie, and after I wrote it, like they was like, yeah, a lot of people can't like visualize certain images or put stuff together in their head, and I was like, that's interesting because I thought everybody could do it. Everybody got
your own podcast because you visually see. It'll start with a conversation, and you already piecing this together. Like, this gonna be the angle, this gonna be the backdrop, this is gonna be the thing.
True.
When you get to rap, but I've always been around people. It's probably the same thing with you. You've been around people that when you talk like that, they put energy into that. And it's a lot of people who don't operate like that. You bring up, and I've been around that too, where I bring up ideas and it's like, this nigga, like, shut up. Like, what are we getting into? Like, what are you talking about? And what I realized is that the biggest shock for me in 20 years of doing this is that I thought that was just people that don't make music. No, that's people who make music too.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm talking to them like, wait a minute, you don't got that vision either? What are we doing?
That's crazy. Like,
so
how did you get here? How did you get here?
You drive in the car and then you drive the 2 miles. Yo,
you gotta manifest.
I'm thinking like, I'm crazy for not. If I ever have a time where I don't be like that, like, how you get this far?
Oh God, that's how I be.
I was gonna ask you though, with connecting with like Glasses and not even just him, just. You know, when you first started off, did you stumble across that? Was it an accident or was that like...
Let me tell you, I'm glad you asked that. Craziest story. My mom's was always trying to make sure I was in church somehow. But when I got an adult, I started,
So you was an usher?
No, I wasn't like, I was never in terms of like, I was never an usher, but I was always in there when I had no choice. Matter of fact, when I got baptized in some sneaky shit. Bro, I woke up one morning, because I didn't know how to swim, right? I woke up one morning, right? Mom was like, put this t-shirt on. I was like, what? And mind you, we lived off of 54th and Hooper. It was a church.
Right.
Damn, 54th and Hooper. My grandma owned probably a 43rd and Hooper.
Wow.
My taco mama. So you know my taco mama?
This is years back. I'm a kid, so I'm not privy to a lot of stuff that's up there now. But when I was up there, I'm a kid. I remember this story.
Right.
The church, the house that was next to that. I know it's a different church now, but it was a bigger church, and it was a house next door. We lived in a house next door, and Mom said, "Get up, put your t-shirt on." And I'm like, "For what?" Put my t-shirt on. She got me like these swim trunks. Got to the church. I said, that look like my grandmama card.
We start putting pieces together. He was like, oh yeah, I know what's going.
We went inside the church. Wasn't nobody in the top level. Empty church. And I started hearing, wade in the water. I said,
wade in the water.
I looked at my mama like, oh, you tricked me. And I went downstairs and
we got him.
They had the old school baptism where it was like, they made like a brick hole in the wall.
Damn.
just for that. So the crazy thing is, I was living with moms. Moms had moved from Carson after my grandparents passed away. Got a little money. We went up to Rancho.
Okay.
We was living in Rancho. It was my introduction to the IE. This is like 2010. This is like right after I got my placement on long term too with Absol.
Right.
So my name is a little bit kind of buzzing or whatever.
Right.
I don't know how they know who the hell Curtis King is.
Okay.
So I'm up on my, or no, was it Twitter? It had to be Twitter. I was on Twitter and I seen Ace Pun. Pun at the time was with Blue Division, right? And he put up a tweet like, we finishing up this Mac 10 and Glass and Malone album. If y'all want to get beats on here, here's the email. It's like beats for something. And I copied it and I was like, I'm gonna send some beats in, and you know what? I'm gonna go to church this morning. And I went to church and I forget the message. I just know it had to do something along with where I was going through. I came home, Ace Palm was like, yo, we want this beat. Track it out and let us know when you can get down here. Only problem was money was so tight at that time. Even though we living in Rancho, like moms took all the money that she made and put it into like you know what I'm saying? Still making decisions that you make when you never had money. And so we got in there and I couldn't even afford to get down to Long Beach from Rancho. I had a car, but I couldn't afford to get down there on gas. So I'm like, fuck my situation up. So then Pun was like, no, that's cool. Just send it through. We transfer whatever it was. Now Pun was really instrumental early on because Pun ended up eventually signing me to League of Stars. Remember League of Stars?
Yeah.
I was at the end of the bench because I couldn't make any of the function beats. I was a sample producer. Like you had Trend, you had D Nice, you had all.
Right.
You had to be like, I was making crump and shit and all kind of different shit. They were looking at me crazy. But sample based, but it wasn't working. But that connection led to me getting on Glasses, his radar, and eventually he was working on White Lightning too. And so I told you that sample base was my bag. And so I just started sending him stuff. At the time I was managed by a lady named Street Goddess, who at that time she was breaking ties, but she had connections with TDE. She was my manager, and she was sending stuff directly to him. And so she kind of helped curate that relationship.
Okay.
All of a sudden, I just started hearing Glasses in these interviews like, y'all got this new sound that's like on some rhythm and gangster type shit. And I'm like, I hope that's what I'm producing because I'm in here.
I hope that's me. I hope that's me.
It's my time to shine, baby.
But think this out. Like, that's the outside point of view where shit looks like it's really good for Curtis. But if you listen to my music at that time, I'm broke as shit. I'm really trying to figure this out. On top of that, we lost that apartment we had in Rancho. So Moms is like, all right, I got a friend I can move with in Compton. You can come with me, or you can keep this momentum that you're building out here in the IE. I made the decision to go. Yeah, Mom's is like, that's Mom's. That's Mom's. Mom's just like Mom's had the opportunity to go play. She seen a little bit. She was more concerned about like seeing all these rappers getting killed. She was like, just don't let that be.
That's a mom though.
That's a Mom's, right? So her thing was that, but also too, Mom's had an opportunity where she could have went on tour with George Clinton. That's how crazy Mom's on the keys. And her adoptive mom and pop said, ain't no fucking way. Yeah. We see the drugs they doing and all of this. She had an opportunity to go play at Grambling. Ain't no fucking way. So she's looking at me like, I can't be that for my son, right?
I gotta look out.
My first audio interface, Mom's bought that. My first microphone, I didn't know how to use none of this. Mom's bought that for me. So
shout out to Mom.
Shout out to Mom.
Shout out to Mom, man. Shout out to Mom for sure.
So she was the one that was like, I'm going to Compton, or you gonna go stay in the IE? So I went to the homies in San Bernardino, and he had a spot in San Bernardino, and I stayed there. I didn't even have a bed. I was like, just give me a couch in a corner. I got a laptop. I'll figure this shit out.
Yeah.
And I kid you not, like Kanye talk about that 5 summers, 3 beats a day shit. I was in there cooking every single day. I had 3 beats I was sending. Gia tell you, it ended up being like 70 beats. I was making all from scratch because I was like, my car had just got repoed when I was over there because I fucked up and put my name on the cable bill. So they came and got that shit. I'm thinking I'm good. I'm like, I ain't gonna pay that. I ain't gonna pay no car note. I'm in a different
Damn.
I walked out there. I did a video about it called 21/7. I walked outside and I looked and I'm like, my first thought is not they repoed. I'm like, oh,
these thought they stole your shit.
They got me. Or maybe one of the homies parked it next to a fire
hydrant or something. Yeah.
Nah. And I called them. I was in this Nissan. They was like, y'all know anything about? Oh yeah, we know.
Oh yeah, we got it.
We got it.
That's yours right here.
I'll tell you, that shit had
Like on
everything.
Baby Boy when the vet took the car.
Oh, yeah. I know where it's at. But I tell you, that shit had everything in it. It had it had like Carson Middle School or Curtis Middle School pictures I could never get back again. It had finals in there. It had baby pictures. It had VHSs, and it had all kind of stuff that showed my early beginnings. I could never get that back, but that was a lesson I had to learn. But I went out there and I was just putting out beats every single day, like 3 beats a day. I was sending through the email to get 2 glasses. At the time, Pun wanted to come bring me on for League of Stars, but there really wasn't any motion for me because, like I said, I'm a sample-based producer, and that cuts in the money.
Right.
So it wasn't his fault, but I was just trying to figure this shit out because it's like, I love music. Music's my number one passion, but I need some scratch. This shit gotta make some sense.
Yeah, right.
And so, but thankfully, because of glasses, he put a lot of people on to me, like Problem's another one. I don't think Problem would know who the hell I am had glasses not been showing them records and being like, or Jason Martin now. If he'd been like, yo, this, like Curtis, this is, you need to go check him out. And I remember he hit me with the Jay-Z line that, Problem, he with the Jay-Z line that he told Kanye, you know, you a real soulful dude. I never forget, I was at Key Club, and he was like, you Curtis? And he's like the height of everything. He's like,
this way
oh, you a real soulful dude. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, that's me. That's me.
Yeah, that's
a
me.
little bit loud.
I'm saying some shit.
I hear you.
Light work, you know.
Something like, yeah, that's me.
But nah, glasses put a lot of people on to me. He didn't have to do that. Even to this day, that's still one of the best mentors that I've had along the journey because he'll just say shit in a way that I'm like, I never heard it like that.
I told you, he's intellectual.
Yeah.
Nobody like
yeah.
He's just an intellectual dude.
Yeah.
That's wrong, by the way.
For real?
I
For
made
real?
it.
I be making it.
I made it.
No, I'll make it. I'll make it.
I'm like, why I wasn't here when I came in first?
Hey,
all.
hey, you want to try some?
I'm fucking with shrimp.
Oh, you don't fuck with shrimp? Oh, Lord. You might fuck with it. You try it out when you
Hey, nah, this shit do be fun. Make sure y'all tap in, get y'all some TLau seafood, boil. Yeah. Tap in, place y'all orders.
That's how we do it. You like how we do it? Like we had last week, we had eating the seafood. Because you know, people on YouTube, they look for that lady that be eating. See, I was like, oh, the lady be eating that shit. Everybody be looking at her. I'm like, oh yeah, this is
shit, bro. My wife be putting me on some of that shit, and I'm like, so you watch this for entertainment,
bro? I swear.
Things, whatever that shit called.
Yeah, like I'm like, what?
That's what I told him. I said, man, you gotta start selling this shit again because niggas watch you. Yeah.
I don't even. I used to sell it. I've been off my shit. I've been off my shit for a minute. But
sit there and watch this shit.
Like I need to get back on my shit.
So, talk about AI a little bit.
AI.
Yeah.
Which AI we talking about? We talking about Allen Iverson? We talking about
artificial intelligence, gang. I see you heavy into that.
I am, but I have I got reservations because I wonder. You know how we hear stories of the '90s when folks were signing deals and it looked like this was the best thing that we could ever get.
Yeah.
We didn't know no better. We didn't know kind of like what the framework of these is. I feel like we're kind of entering another stage, at least in the music industry, where we're giving up we're not gatekeeping the culture, we're not gatekeeping our skills, we're just allowing this thing to happen really freely, and it's happening so quickly that it's like, what can you really stop?
Yeah.
I wonder how much, at times I'm looking at this shit and I'm like, I call myself a DIY, I'm gonna do it yourself, or I will make the most out of whatever I got in front of me, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I look at this and I'm like, this is the one thing they said that was going to stop me from being successful is not having a team. I'm like, well, AI can be part of my team.
Damn.
Right? Canva can give me the graphic design I used to have to come out of pocket for, and niggas still wouldn't give me what I needed.
Yeah.
And it made me wait.
Nigga paying $7 a month for AI and they doing everything you need.
And I got access to the best graphic designer templates, and I'm like, okay, cool. ChatGPT. I didn't sat with ChatGPT and had real life conversations about the plans that I have for the next 6 months. And what I'll give you an example. I was coming up with a title for one of my projects, and I'm really personal about making sure that I'm I write all my shit, and I care about that. I still care. But as I'm sitting there with my album titles, I'm like, I know all of this shit got something in common that I'm not seeing because I'm too zoomed in. And so I took all of the titles of my albums and I said, you tell me what these have in common from your perspective. And it was like, it's nostalgic, They all have like this amount of syllables. And then I was like, all right, based upon that, give me a list of 50 titles that I might come up with. And it didn't. So all of them wasn't good, but one of them was like close enough so where it started triggering ideas. And that's when I had the idea that, not the idea, but I heard somebody say it. We're not going to get replaced by AI. We're going to get replaced by someone who uses AI. So I think of whoever did what we doing today 10 years ago doesn't have the advantage that we have if we collaborate with some of this shit.
Yeah.
But then there's another part of me that's like, well, how much collaboration do I want to do?
Do we want to,
Because I don't want to give you all of the, I don't want to train you and give you all of the shit.
Yeah.
But then also too, like I was talking to one of my homies, it's his brand right here, More Gems, More Wins.
That shit hard. I'm gonna say that when you walk in.
The Mega Man.
You know what I'm saying? So like, he do all of his own shit, and he's looking at this, and he, you know, of course, as his business, he sees people now who are generating their own AI shit through like DALL-E and all these different platforms, and he's like, he had questions about how does that threaten what he does. He's like, ain't nobody want to go skip my shit that I put all this detail in. Skip my shit that got all kind of nuance, all kind of details that the people who care are tapped in, they see it, and they want to support it. Plus, I'm a human being behind all of this.
Yeah.
You want to see me win, right? So when he took from that perspective, I was like, nah, we get to be better versions of what we would have been 10 years ago because we have it.
Yeah.
But leaning on it is where I have an issue. I don't want to lean on it to the point where it's like, I can't do nothing without it.
Yeah.
That's problematic for me. But outside of that,
that's my whole thing with it too, though, because one of my friends recently just put me on Chat GPT. So I'm doing a fashion show. I'm trying to do a fashion show in October, and she was saying like I can do, and she showed me too. She was like, "Man, you can do because I do contracts with like the vendors and stuff like that." And she was like, "Man, all you got to do is ask Chat GPT, and they'll write a whole contract for you for the brands." For whatever you need. And I'm just like, damn, like, and I really believe in iRobot. I feel like iRobot is going to happen.
Yeah, I can see that.
One thing.
I see it.
Like, the robots walking
I just feel
around.
like we so far away from it though. Like, by the time
we might not even, we are going to,
I'm like, I do think one day they just get mad. It's over. When they get mad, it's over.
Did you see the clips they got? I think it was either in Japan. I think it might have been in Japan where the robots just died.
Oh, damn.
They were trying to replace workers, and they had these robots picking up boxes. This nigga died.
Damn.
Died. You ain't got a heart. You just see this thing crumble to the side like, nah. He like, I give up. But no, like the thing about it is, as long as humans are a part of the process, right, which they always seem to be, it's going to be flawed in some degree. So I look at it and I'm like, what do we have to really worry about? Even when I saw like the labels was fucking around with an AI rapper and they had, I think his name was F. Mecca. You see that?
No, I didn't see that. He was cold. He
was terrible. He was like, you could tell like whoever coded him, and I'm going to tell you what's crazy about the coder. So somebody coded him and he was saying all kind of niggas, right? He was saying he was sound like Tekashi 6ix9ine. Nigga, all every other line. Right? So all of that shit's going on. And they trying to push him. They giving him like endorsement deals. He got brands that are behind him. He got Xbox behind him. So they really like, we can replace. We don't even need y'all. Here's the point that's why I love us so much. Our folks started doing their research on TikTok. And they said, just want to let y'all know I found the coder. It's the whitest dude you've ever seen in your life. You already know what it was going to be. With a clipboard, he's just like, I made F and Mac. And it's like,
it's over.
You the one dropping all these.
Right. You the one.
Damn, like, it's over.
It's done. So then they pulled the plug on it. The labels didn't want any part of it. But I think that was still version 1. I think they did that on purpose so that they can see, like, test it out.
Like iPhone type shit.
Once again, we are probably part of a whole nother generation that just can't see that. Maybe there is a generation that comes up. For instance, it's kids now that like the idea of a black president is not that big of a deal because they've seen it with Obama as a kid.
Yeah.
I came up, there was like, Pop was saying like,
that was a blessed, like when Obama.
We ain't never gonna see that. So I think there's gonna be a time where maybe, and I pray, I don't think I want to be around for that, where nuance doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because to me, the details is what makes every one of your artists, your favorite artists, it's in them details. So,
And that's why everybody say you gotta pray for the kids.
You gotta pray for the kid. And then also too, we gotta be examples though too, because I feel like I look at that and I don't know how some people look at that and get scared. I look at that and feel the competition. I'm like, you're not fucking with me.
Yeah, oh God, yeah.
And I can use you too. Oh, weird. I never listened to his music, but a really dope example that I had was I listened to Childish Gambino, but he was talking about Elvis. He was like, can you imagine? Elvis was a terrible actor, by the way. And he said, could you imagine how much of a better actor he would have been if recording was as fast as it is for us right now?
Yeah.
And could you imagine if he could like do a chat GPT studying of his script and figure some shit out? He said he probably would have been that much better of an actor because he had to spend less time on some of this shit. And I feel like that's us. We get to spend less time on shit that doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
For instance, I edit my own videos. I don't fucking like editing.
He edited his videos too.
Yo,
you know the process. Come on. How much, like, you ever had them times where you watching this shit render, you seeing that shit go 10%, 15%, you like, I could be doing something better with my life right now.
But that ain't even the uploading it. That's
Even
just the render. Because you got to render it, then you got to, man, it's a whole, man. You're like, damn, I got to wait 3 hours for this, then you got to wait another 3 hours for this.
So that's the part that I'm looking at, and I'm like, certain people got paid for being mediocre. Mind you, I come from the beat selling space. It's a lot of niggas that I met in this, and I was like, you have no business selling beats. Not even looking at nobody else's pockets, but looking at that shit like, why are you here?
Yeah.
But yeah, like, this shit don't bother me now, bro. I look at this and I'm like, we live in a time where we can't be the people who saw CDs and we was like, nah, cassette's gonna be forever.
Yeah. We
gotta embrace some of this shit.
You gotta think none of that, but everything gonna repeat itself. You see, Glasses, he dropped that. He had the cassette tapes and the CDs. I'm like, I said, and then he was asking me in the car. He was like, "You ain't gonna open this? You ain't gonna?" I said, "Nah, this is classic. Like, that's what I'm telling. Like, why would I open this?"
I'm like the last 2 or 3 CDs from G. Like, I know G for a long time.
The Crip store.
And come in a blue packaging. I looked at it in the mail. I was like, "Hey, what is this?" My wife had, like, we both have our own home businesses. Like, shout out my wife. She really been on her shit. But she does. Oh yeah. Nails by Dom. So any platform you on, Nails by Dom. If you went into that, especially on TikTok, you probably ain't seen her shit go viral. She done worked with like some reality stars. She worked with I be forgetting some of these like influencers' names, but she be on her shit. With that said though, I watched her. She watched me first on my entrepreneurship.
How you spell it though?
Nails, Nailz, by DOM. You'll find it. Plus, I share all the time on my platforms. I had Curtis King, but I seen her build that up, and I seen sort of the progress, the process she went through. I'm just like, man, it's a lot out here for us right now if we want to go out there and get it. And there's a lot of people out here that are willing to support everything.
And you gotta think, like, if it's like 20 people going hard, you gotta think it's like probably like 15 people that's just thinking like, man, I'll do it tomorrow. It's gonna be them other people that's like, oh, I'm gonna do this shit today, and then you ahead of the game. It's like a relay. It's like a marathon. Like Nipsey said, it's a marathon. It's a marathon.
I'll tell you what's scary about that. We literally had this conversation the other day because she was talking about how, you know, sometimes she inspires a lot of her homegirls to get into what she's into. But a lot of them, not even homegirls, like, so just random people get inspired by seeing her nail business. And she said they give up so easy because they expect, like, what they see her have.
They want it right now.
Right now.
It ain't happening like that.
And there's so many people, even outside that industry, that feel like that. And that's the problem.
That's you gotta have gratitude. You gotta just be grateful.
You got to. Everything. Like, you gotta think, even to this day, this is surprising when I say it, but even with the platform that I built, I still get no's all the time. It don't matter how many. Like, I got almost 300,000 subscribers, and they know that I really got it out the mud. Like, I didn't do clickbait shit from the beginning. Like, I really went the hard way and did content nobody else is willing to do. Even today, I get left on red.
Right.
I gotta take that to the chin. It's been many times when I'm like, I want to crash out. I want to say some crazy shit because I'm like, but I can't do that.
But you know what? Like I told him, like we had a big interview not too long ago that we were supposed to have, and somebody didn't show up, so we was just like, No, we go our back against the wall. Like, what's happening? Like it is what it is. Like, let's go. And then that's when we got our first our first real viral video, because we was talking about like the worst
gas station to get out to go
off
to.
The 110, off the 110. Like, if you on the 110, then you got an empty tank where you getting off on the 110. You got burn in, small things. So then that's
we was saying pretty much you couldn't stop from MLK all the way to like Rosecrans.
Yeah. But see, that moment wouldn't have happened had that person not flaked. Situation.
Yes.
So it's not like here's the tip that tripped me out. I went through a phase. Not even I want to hijack your story because I love hearing stories like that. I get inspired by it. But I saw I was going through like my whole life change. I went through this seminar with this dude Tony Robbins, and it's called Unleash the Power Within. I ain't never thought I'd be in one of them shits. Every time I saw from the outside, like, this shit is corny. Like the people in there clapping and doing all of this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I went there, and in a weird way, it helped me to understand what took my mama to church every week. Because when I was in church, I had been in church for so long. Cause my mom, like I said, she played in almost any LA church you could think of. Rochelle, like y'all, for those who are in that space, you know my mom's and what she's done and what she continues to do. Like mom's is now ordained and all of that stuff. But
that's a blessing,
man.
That's a blessing.
Seeing her out here, it got to the point where it was like I was in these churches and I wasn't really getting what I was like. I saw people catch the Holy Ghost, and I'm like, I got nervous, like, because it like they was out of control of their body. Like I was like, do I want to get the Holy? Nobody explained it to me, but I was always in the church, so some of the stuff became like regular to me. It wasn't until I got in that environment and I realized like that person don't care where I'm from. That person don't care what my background is. At least they're not showing it right now. And we're asking questions about this as a human. Seeing like him say, how many of y'all are dealing with this problem? And I'm like, damn, I'm embarrassed to put my hand up. And then 9,000 other people put their hand up. And you realize you're not as special as you thought you was. And that people are going, so when I saw that, it opened my eyes to the point where I got to the point where I had to start saying, all the people that did me dirty, it's going to sound real fucked up because a lot of people are not ready for this conversation. All the people that did me the dirtiest, the ones where I see them and it's just nothing but hate. I had hate in my heart. I got to thank them for something. Not for what they did. What they did was fucked up. They should never do. But I gotta thank them for something, because had you not been who you was, I would not become who I became.
That's amazing. That's a testimony.
I got to the point where I started like calling folks that I had bad falling outs with in the industry at one point, and they was like, "What are you calling me for? I don't got no money for you." Like, that's not that. I just want to say thank you, because I know you was doing the best of what you thought was the best in that situation. Same as me. But it just didn't work out. Now I can look at that and say, that viral moment that you talked about earlier, does that happen? The way that it happens, all the variables that had to happen, like y'all had to have a little bit of like irritation with the shit going the way it did. Maybe that delivered the message a bit different.
We was hot.
So if that was the case,
spent money and all
money too. See, that's what I'm saying.
And then we was the night before. I was like, don't get too on. Yeah. Don't drink too much. We got an interview tomorrow.
That pre-preparation.
Yes. The whole thing. I was telling him. We talking on the phone. I'm at a resort. And I'm at a resort about to leave the next day. About to check out something. Yeah, I'm like, we gotta focus. We got a big interview tomorrow. Like, don't get too on. Like, don't smoke too much. Don't drink too much. We got
business, and the one thing they had to do was show up, and they didn't do it. But thankfully they didn't, because look at what it did was create a moment that you didn't need nobody else except for y'all. And even after thousands of videos on YouTube, I still have those moments where I forget who I am, because I'm so locked into the work that I'm not thinking about, I'm Curtis King. I don't have time to do it. When I start doing that, I'm not working. Right? Well, it's humble, but I think sometimes what I get messed up with humility is there's a level of when somebody said the first time, I was like, yeah, I am humble. But I started looking it up, and it was like, humility to a certain degree is feeling like your smallness. Right? Like feeling like you're feeling a certain smallness. Then I had somebody really break down humility, and I feel like I'm on the fence about it. But somebody said, you can't be humble unless you know your power.
You can't be humble unless you know your power.
Because what are you humble about? You know what I'm saying? Like, unless you know, like, you in a situation where it's like, I could really fuck your shit up right now, and I know every angle I can do this from. The fact that I'm not doing that, that's a humble decision. Or there's been situations where I'm talking to somebody who you know, I was talking to Iman about it. Like, so you talk to some folks who they want to try to convince you they smart, but you can see right through the bullshit.
Yeah.
Like you listen to you like, come on now. Like, but I now have the humility to say, I know what I could say in a situation to make you look stupid, but why would I do that?
Why would I?
What's the benefit of it for my ego? Like, fuck my ego. Like,
man, I tell people that all the time. Like, sometimes it's just not worth it. People be wanting to just get back, and I be like, bro, sometimes the get back ain't doing nothing. For, like,
you ever had that happen when you did get your get back and it don't hit the same?
And they don't hit the same. Hell yeah.
It's like it wasn't worth it.
It wasn't worth it, and it wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's like
that's why.
Not this. It's not this person is under me, but like you don't have no values or morals about yourself or nothing. Like you have nothing to lose. Like
right.
And I'm sitting here going back and forth with you. How dumb do I look? I dumb myself down.
Yeah, and I don't mean it like that either. Like I'm not saying that somebody is less than. I feel but I'm saying like in that moment you can act less than yourself.
Yeah. Facts.
And if I get down to that level in that situation, and it's you gotta imagine. When I got into the space of YouTube, I was like, oh, all these problems is over with. Because when you operating as a rapper in this space, especially in LA, like you bound to get in some conflict. I don't care what kind of rapper you are. It don't matter. Politics in general, or somebody slighted you, or somebody in the industry has got it out for you. Somebody's trying to blackball you. I feel like I didn't went through those situations more than enough times. I got into the internet space. I was like, this shit finna be a walk in the park. Then these niggas started acting up. Then they started. I'm like,
he said, my problems just begun.
and it's different type of problems because now it's like the most squarest of individuals.
Yeah,
that have numbers, can do numbers, have the opportunity to like make you try to refocus your shit. Now you gotta respond to something that's there, and it's like I didn't come here for this.
Yeah,
I didn't come here for this. But I look at it and I'm like, you know what? That's just a lesson I feel like from God that no matter where you go, I still need you to grow.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna grow. Like you would never get another pair of shoes if you were never uncomfortable in them.
Yeah.
You gotta be uncomfortable.
My feet don't hurt. You know what I'm straight.
Like what are we doing? So I'm looking at this and I'm realizing that all of this is in divine order. It had to happen this way. I wasn't always like that. It's still times where I call him like my boy Mon, like you know, because he be trying to encourage me to like, man, you need to show them another side. You need to show them like who you really are, because you get in this media
space. Go in that mode.
Eastside Curtis.
Eastside Curtis from Curtis.
Curtis.
You know what?
I love you, bro.
And shout out, man, Eastside. It's been a real Eastie vibe. Eastside Curtis.
And I promise I wasn't a casual flex that Iman and Mari. Iman and Mari is just sitting over here. Like, no, we get ready to go to a session. Iman, like, and I, you know, I hate saying this, we talk a lot of shit to each other, but he's been, like, as soon as I get out of here, he'll be like, yeah, I told you. What I'm going to say is that I got to a place where, all right, so now we get in the version of Curtis. I got to the content space. Now, finally, all of them financial issues, like, I still get financial issues, don't get it twisted, but all of them, like, I can't afford toilet paper type shit. Like, I had stories in my book that talked about the crazy lengths I didn't went to just try to make it to the next step. But now that I'm here, life got real comfortable. And, you know, God being the obviously the master at work that he is, amazing. Me and Iman, we didn't cross paths a million times throughout these years. And every single time it was like, oh, you got the same number? Yeah, it's the same number. We ain't hit each other up or nothing. But something about this last time, man, we got to talking about, because, you know, I took my music off of streaming about a year ago almost now. And I was like, I need to figure out how to make bread out of streaming and how to put the value back in the art. What I didn't know was how many people that was going to connect me with. That's when me and G started talking a whole lot more often. That's when I started talking to a lot of people, but most instrumental was my guy, Iman. And man, I always looked up to Iman and just, I mean, you look at the credits alone is already just ridiculous, but the thing that impressed me the most about him is just his demeanor in these situations, because there's been situations where I should have got paid more or I should have got paid something for my work, and I was too soft to speak up because I didn't want to fuck up my relationships. I needed an Iman at that time to be like, niggas, Get your ass in there.
Your money, you get your bread, nigga. You tripping?
Yeah, but I didn't. The thing is, when you don't have any wolves in this industry, when you don't have anybody that is gonna get in that space with you and talk like that, you start talking a certain way. People know it's one or two things getting ready to happen after that, and I wasn't prepared for that. I'm like, I don't know what this space is gonna be for me as a businessman, whatever. But Iman would tell me how he would do these situations, and I'm like, fuck, I could have learned from that. But eventually, man, he reached out about the stuff I did with streaming, and we started talking about the idea of possibly working.
Talk to him, Iman. Tell him that. Tell me your story, Iman. Talk to him.
Don't make me look crazy, man.
Trust me, because I speak up. So if he said anything that was some bullshit, I would have been like, nah, that's not what happened.
Tell him about yourself.
Yeah, but no, man. Well, my name's Iman Omari, producer, singer, songwriter, LA warrior. Been out here my whole life. But yeah, everything Curtis is saying is right. Is I seen what he had going on, on the internet. And mind you, this is somebody that I look at as a peer for many years in LA. You know what I'm saying? If you really somebody out here in LA that you done seen Curtis King name for a long time,
sure.
I used to see the nigga with the flat top. So like I said, so when I seen that he had motion on the internet with the page and whatnot, and I was like, oh, he had, at the time, I think he might have had 250, 260, you know what I'm saying? But he also was talking about what I've been doing this whole time, which is being a fucking independent artist.
Yeah.
So I've had a lot of prowess in the industry, and people assume that I had a deal, but I've never had a deal this whole time. And I'll give you one quick story on why I gravitated towards him, because this is what I've been on. So I remember I had a tour that I went on with Lauryn Hill in 2018, 2019. Y'all look it up. But it was the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill 20th anniversary, right? Okay. So I opened up for Lauryn Hill for 7 dates. You feel me? So in order for Live Nation to put me on, I had to have a tour manager.
Right.
Now ask me, did I have a tour manager? Fuck no, I didn't have no tour. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I was like, ain't no way we gonna not get this money.
Right, we gonna make it make sense.
So the first thing that I did was I just made a nigga up.
Oh God, you a real nigga. What a nigga gonna do?
But peep me, because everybody want to always follow the rules. What the fuck we keeping it real with these companies and shit? They be lying to you.
You
know what I'm saying? So I'm lying to their ass. So look. So I'm telling you, so I use my daddy name. My daddy name is Kaleem Umari. My name's Iman Omari. That's my dad name. His name's Kaleem. So I said, Kaleem is my manager. He can't be here right now because he's with a bigger artist and he's going to be doing everything remotely. They said, okay.
Easy.
So look, to make a long story short, by the time we got to the last show, they came into the green room. They was like, Imam, I just wanted to let you know that Kaleem, he's been so easy to work with. Wow, look, my band, you see what you just did? My band, they all did that. They said, and I was like, shut the fuck up, nigga, before we lose money. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling you, bro, like, so when I seen Curtis doing what he's doing, I'm like, oh, nigga, you talking about that shit I'll be talking about.
Right.
For me, because I see that he had built a platform on talking about the real aspects of what it is to be an independent artist and what we're actually going up against, I had to let him know, like, I'm standing with you in solidarity, bro. It's like, it ain't too many niggas that's out here even talking about that shit.
That's
so
real.
Curtis will tell you, I hit him out, I was like, hey, nigga, like, we be talking all the time.
No hesitation. Because you know that feeling when it's people that, damn well they see you, but they're not going to say nothing? Or they'll praise you in private.
Like I need him, you need him.
Same thing. So like, I got so to the point where I had been so far removed because I just moved out. Like I moved out to the San Diego area, and I had folks that I was still in connection with, but I was just used to when I go out to the city, it's going to be politics, especially if it's music related. And mine was one of the first ones that was like, nigga, what are you doing right now? I'm going to call you. Not like, oh, I'm going to get up with you.
I'm going to fuck with you.
I'm a bug with you, yeah. And it never happened. He called me that day and started setting things in motion. All good. He started setting things in motion, and I tell you, like, even though he's younger than me, it still was a weird. It was not weird. It was dope because he almost came in almost in a mentor position.
Yeah.
Because he was like looking at things that I couldn't even see from my optic because I was so far removed from a lot of stuff. Like life got good. But sometimes when life get good, it can make you delusional. right?
Implicit.
And they can make you your own little box that you in. And so I didn't recognize that he was the first one that, first of all, was gonna say it. He not gonna filter it. He gonna say it like it is. First thing he told me when we started working together, funny ass story. He said,
Nah. Oh yeah, I know this.
You know my background, like with my mom in church and everything, so I can't help like how it may fall in my delivery as a rapper. He told me, first thing we're not gonna do that Kurt Franklin shit in here. No, hold on.
None of that stomp shit.
No.
Ring that stomp
He
shit.
said Kurt. That's my name, Curtis. He said Kurt Franklin.
Oh,
Run it back. I just did.
that's like you hit him.
He hit me with that. And
That's like you hit him.
we gonna Zoom. He like this.
Kurt Franklin.
Wait.
It's like that.
He gonna Zoom with this same beer. He like, yeah, I said it. Because you know, folks try to walk it back or like try to like, you know, put it. He didn't care about that. He like, if you can't take that, we can't work. So like, it got to the point where one thing I always was in the back of my mind is when you get in media, especially the generation I got into it with YouTube, the whole thing is like, especially as a black man in this space, don't do anything that's going to embarrass your people. Don't go in here doing things. That was one thing in the back of my mind because my grandma used to be like, "Don't we go to JC Penney? Don't you beat don't you come embarrass in front of these white boys?
You better get you.
So that was in the back of my mind. But then also too, when you get into the media space, you start like cleaning up certain ways that you say things because it's just part of the process. You get people putting you under a radar. Like I got in some of these. Bro, the first time I ever got caught some of these most racist shit was on YouTube, and they were like looking and judging me on some like, oh, that's how all y'all is at. All y'all is like this, and I didn't understand it. But I tell you this, in the process of me trying to figure out like media training and all of that, changed my music. It changed my music. And it took your mind coming through and saying, why are you saying it like that? Stop doing that YouTube shit here. Line by line. Rewrite that. And I've been doing this for 20 years. The first time I'm hearing some of this stuff. Like I heard it when I was early on, but at this stage, you pretty much is like a dog with old tricks.
Yeah.
Old dog, old tricks, but I was open to it because I knew what he did musically for himself as a songwriter, as an artist himself, as a producer. And I saw like, you gotta, whatever ego might exist, tuck it.
I feel like the worst thing is having a yes man around you. And that's why that's why with me and Lee, we argue like a motherfucker. I said, nigga, don't post that one. Like, post this one. I'm like, why the fuck you posting that one? Like, nigga, post this one. Like, what the fuck we doing? Like, he's like, nah, nigga, I'm gonna post this one. Trust me. Like, trust me. And I'm like,
that motherfucker go crazy.
Nah, I don't think we should post this one. Like, I don't know, nigga. You sure, nigga? But we gonna go back and forth. And that back and forth is important because you ain't got a nigga like, you would tell a nigga like, oh yeah, I'm gonna post this. Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Right, see, right. And yes men are so tricky because I think when I think of yes men, I think of somebody who just won't fight anything. Like they just don't care. But the yes men that I felt like I might have came in contact with, I don't think they knew they were yes men. I think they were like, you know more about this than me, so who am I to give input? But with Iman, it was different because he would come in and be like, nigga, I know I don't know about graphic design. Do this shit, Kurt. Show me what you would do with this. And he'll be like, all right, cool. Like he has this thing where he's like, at this time, you the captain in this. At this time, I'm the captain in this. But being able to have that back and forth, I think, is the healthiest thing going on.
Go on and take a back seat.
Yeah.
I told that nigga that today. I said, nigga, you gonna lead. You gonna lead today.
But when you know that's you and you're not stepping on no toes, I feel like that helps. But I think when it comes to the whole yes man thing, I don't think a lot of folks knew they were complicit in it because they were so in awe by me doing so many things in general. It's like, what do I tell this thing? What do I tell you that you do? Iman is like,
but then you gotta be like an Iman. You gotta be like, yeah, man, if you a nigga, you know some shit ain't about to pop off, nigga, say that nigga. No, like, I don't think that's
well, you know, well, us as men, it's not for me to be worried about what your reaction is. If I know that my intention is not to be disrespectful, however you respond is how you respond.
Exactly. Like, I'm trying to look out for you.
But even if you ain't bad, like,
I don't care. Like, it is what it is.
I love you, but let's go outside, run the hands.
It's bubble real quick. Right back in this motherfucker.
But I guess because I come from that type of old school shit, you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, I don't really give a fuck. I'm gonna say what the fuck I need to say.
It is what it is. I didn't understand the scene on Get Rich or Die Trying, when Terrence Howard,
Mhm.
the dude was in the backseat,
Mhm.
and he was like, I don't like that he fidgeted, like, nigga, stop moving behind me. And when they got out the car, he was like, when I'm right, I know I'm right. I apologize if I'm wrong, because I could be wrong. And I apologize, but I still could be right.
Yeah.
And so when he said, it took me this long, probably like end of last year, to realize what he was saying.
Yeah.
And it was just like, damn, nigga, like, because at the end of the day, if I feel some type, you made me feel some type of way, I could be right about how I'm feeling. You know, and forgive me if I'm wrong, because I could be wrong as well. And I can admit that I'm wrong, but nigga, at the end of the day, I've seen this trick before, so I still could be right.
Right.
And then also, I think knowing what you want at one point in life, where I don't want to argue about semantics. I want to get to the bag. I want to get to the win. Let's get the W.
Yeah.
It's like trying to coach a player early on who think they the best hooper where they at. You can't tell them nothing.
There you go.
Because I've been beating kids since I was 7 years old. Here I am 16. Like, you can't tell them. But now when he went through an injury, now when he's late in his 20s and he's realizing, like, damn, I've always played for losing teams. I need to change something. You meet like somebody like Phil Jackson-esque or whatever. I feel like that's what Iman was for me. And I don't think I ever had a point where I was super ego out of my mind, but I did have a point where I was like, all right, you want to work with me? Fuck it, I'll do it myself. And the first thing he told me, he was like, I know your brand is DIY, but I think this season needs to be DIY. So literally on the way in here,
That was back, boy.
literally on the way here, I'm like looking at my merch and I'm like, I have to be real with myself. My merch fucking sucks. My shit is terrible. The only who made this. It's funny because he used to, like, he met me as a supporter of my music and somebody who would come to my shows. He eventually became the first person that pulled out his camera and was shooting YouTube videos for me. But he was like, nah, do that again. I don't believe you. He now has a successful brand called More Gens, More Wins, where, I mean, he works with a lot of reputable people in what he does.
That shirt is tough.
Appreciate it. So it's More Gens, More Wins, but it's like,
tough.
I got the homie who does this part of that, and I'm being so stubborn that I'm not even gonna ask. Because my thing is not that I wouldn't ask, but I don't want to bother busy people.
Yeah, you like me, like you like me, like I don't.
You got your shit. I don't want to disrupt that, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, it took me 39. I'm 39, getting ready to be 40 in January next year.
Where we at? January what?
23rd.
I'm February 4th.
Stop.
It was Aquarius.
Wow. Yeah. We were just talking about that earlier. But the Aquarius connection. But January.
I'm a Sagittarius.
But he was just like giving me the game on, like, oh, this is why these interviews go this certain type of way. These are my own unrelated interviews. But January, and it took me till I'm 39 to realize, like, dog, you did a lot of shit yourself. Round of applause. Proud of you. That was good.
He made you like, he made you fit, like, he wanted to bring that out of you. Like, I'm that nigga. Like, I'm still him. I'm him.
But you know, another thing was too, is that on my own accord, I was telling Curtis, I said, bro, I reached the ceiling on this independent shit. So even with me, I was like, nigga, I got a Megatron with a nigga so we can get this shit popping. Because I'm like, there's nothing else I could do by myself.
Yeah.
You don't have to, like, and that's the issue I had, is that when I respected somebody, I respected them almost to a fault, where I would put my own point of view in that process, knowing that's not the wise thing to do. But I would do that because it's like, I trust you. I trust you. You're gonna leave. And every single time I found myself, I had a line in this project we did. I said, I'm tired of living a life. I'm tired of writing I'm tired of living a life by a book I never chose to write. Because I feel like so many situations I got in, I was like, I trust you. Not that they weren't worthy of the trust, but I still should have, like, gave some kind of fight
or something.
Yeah. But my thing is, I never, like, we want to win.
Yeah.
But sometimes you got to be an ass. Like, that's why I look at the whole Michael Jordan thing. I didn't take away from the documentary that he was an asshole, because he was. We knew that, though.
Yeah, right. Just like Kobe.
Kobe too.
Kobe was an asshole too.
But you need that kind of insanity to win like that. And some people are not willing to go through that, whether it's on the receiving end or giving that. And this is what this whole project with Iman was like. This is bigger than a project. The project itself is probably only 15-minute EP. It's not just that.
What's the project called?
Beige. Because you wouldn't let me call it Beige Rage.
The way that you said that to me and I darted my eyes at that.
Yeah, I know. I see you. I see you. I see you. I see you. Like,
nah, look,
I see you.
Say the name, nigga. Like,
you didn't even say it.
yeah,
I didn't even say it. I said, what's the project again? I didn't even say it.
It's called Beige because I think that it's funny. Even on the way up here, like I had an opportunity to interview Storm DeBarge about all the amazing things she's doing, right? And one of the first comments that popped up on TikTok was, "Why she shared this story with a Mexican?" And I'm like, damn.
so funny.
So wait a minute. Let me give you some perspective. Wait a minute. So my mama named me D' capital WAN. So I can't get no jobs because my mama, right? She named me that, so I ain't getting no jobs because of my name. But you ain't gonna get. So I'm too black for this job, but I get in the content space. I'm not black enough.
You're not black enough.
Now I'm a whole other race, and I just like I look at that and I'm like, see, this is a problem because when you get in the media space, everything becomes vanilla to a certain degree. Like when you get in the media space and you get to that certain level, everybody seems to be like, even like newscasters. I don't care what their ethnicity is, they all talk the same exact way.
Yeah.
Weatherman, all of the new, they all take a. I'm trying to break away from that, and I wanted to try to figure out what that balance looked like because I never seen an example of me. But it took me having these long conversations with Iman where it's like, nah, you gotta let these niggas know, like, because if not, they gonna keep trying you.
Yeah.
And then every time you,
that's how. See, that's what
Yeah.
I had a partner tell me that same thing though. He was like, man, because I used to be like a not a mean nigga, but like you can never pull the wool over my eyes. I'm gonna call you out and we gonna start. It's just gonna be a whole big thing. But now I be letting so much just slide. And my partner was like, man, you gotta go back to the OG because people gonna just keep using you.
Doormat. I'll say you're doormat.
But it's a more refined you though, right? You're not about to just fucking crash out for no reason.
No.
Right.
You know, you gonna come to a nigga like, look, bro, like I'm a different dude now, but I'm gonna let you know I seen that weird shit you was just putting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's enough. A lot of times, just letting them know I see you.
Yeah, I know what you're doing. I know. And then they better have them shake up. Then shake up a little like, oh,
I ain't that body like that.
I just cut niggas off and wait for them to come and ask me why you don't fuck with me no more. And I be like, you know what?
That's funny. Mom used to tell me that. She said, I don't have to say nothing. I'm gonna make myself less available. And I said, what does making yourself less available look like? She said, I don't pick up on them first few rings. I don't pick up at all sometimes because I've situated my life. And that's where I found myself when I wanted to like say the craziest shit out. And I've had my moments, especially in this online space.
We all do.
We all got our moments, right?
We all do.
But in the moments where I'm like, I know this is gonna make me look stupid in the end, even if I'm right.
Yeah.
I had those times where it's like, you're not busy enough. The only reason you got time for this,
Idle time.
you don't have to. What's on your plate? And why are you not? Why don't you have more on your plate? That's why you worried about this. If your money was up, you wouldn't be worried about this. Fuck.
But
If
you know,
got a
the
staff, you know what
look
I'm saying?
stupid thing that you're saying though, my challenge to that is like, okay, y'all know who Eric Andre is? You ever heard of Eric Andre?
I think so.
Okay, Eric Andre is this he's a mulatto black man. He's mulatto. And
Okay. All right.
So basically,
now we're gonna have to watch.
He has the time that he's doing like bizarre shit. And you know, not for nothing, like I would equate this type of humor to like white boy humor. White boy humor, they do a lot of, you know, like homo jokes and things like that. And respectfully, it's all good.
Too.
Yeah, they do all types of stuff, right? So Eric Andre doesn't give a fuck about what nobody thinks. And he's literally above the stratosphere because of it. You feel me? So my point is like, why do we care about looking stupid so much? Well, you know what I'm saying?
I could clarify this. I'm not saying looking stupid in front of the public. I'm saying that feeling, you know better than this.
Yeah, to yourself.
Like you know how you could see yourself. I'm at a point where I could see a situation and I could see it play out, see me winning an argument, and still feel like a dumbass. And there's nobody else involved in it. It happens sometimes with my wife. Like, we'll have a conversation. I'm like, I know how this argument gonna go. You know, and I know how stupid I'm gonna feel for being drained because I exerted all this energy.
Sit here and go
so it's like, I hear what you're saying. In that case, you know, you gotta look stupid. to me, I had to look stupid in front of you in order to get to the results we got to with this music.
But that's what I'm saying. You never look stupid.
Yeah,
that's
That's what I'm saying.
No, I like the hell like never look
You're hard on yourself.
Yeah.
It is because I know for sure it's all good when I'm sitting here doing takes and he's like doing that Kurt Franklin shit again. I'm like, oh damn! But I know it's out of love.
That's your brother. That's your brother.
Imagine this is like if I ran track and I keep popping up too soon when I come up off the blocks and I'm like, here this nigga go, he ready to stand up. You know what I'm saying? But again, those memories though are gonna help you when you in the real race or when you in the Olympics. You're gonna be like, let me not do that.
You know what I think about a lot. You know what I listen to a lot. I listen to a lot of like Kobe, like stuff like that. That Mamba mentality. That's a real.
Or Nipsey.
Like I'll be at work. I do mechanic work. I'm a mechanic at Enterprise Rental Car.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll be so sometimes I don't be wanting to work on car, doing all this and stuff, but you'll just get in that mode, like fuck it, like you gotta do this for family, you gotta do this, like it ain't like I've been there 2 years, I ain't called off one time, and I ain't been late one time in 2 years. They gave that award and everything, like because I'm focused. I had situations happen to where I was asking God, like, you get me out of this, I promise I won't let you go. Like, I promise I won't. I got you. And this was that situation. And I was like, I'm gonna give it my all.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna let nothing leave nothing, no crumbs, nigga. I'm giving it my all, like, cause I don't know, like, cause I at a point to where I was thinking like, damn, I'm gonna be at a warehouse job my whole life, like that's crazy, like you feel me, like I ain't trying to be at no warehouse like my whole life, cause that's the only jobs I was getting, and then this job gave me a chance, and I'm just like, I can't look back. I can't call in sick because I know I can call in sick. I know how many times I can call in sick throughout the year, and I know all the stuff behind it and stuff like that. But my thing is, I can't.
You driven by something different.
Yeah, I can't. It's something. I can't.
Yeah, and then like the whole, but like I said, just going back again to the whole of the stupid shit, because I just want to drive it home. It's just like, if you want to call it looking stupid, you have to look stupid sometimes to get to these situations that you didn't know you could get to. You know, so like, I don't want to hit this nigga up because I don't want to seem like a bitch, like I'm his girlfriend hitting him up all the time. I don't even care about that shit. Like, if there's somebody I need to get to, I'm gonna call you a bunch of times.
Look, damn, that's
you feel me? Like, I don't care.
That's him with me because I'm like people like, because I got connections through classes and stuff, and he was like, bro, you good? Just hit the. I'm like, bro, I don't want to sing. I don't want to sound like I'm.
Nigga, like, give me the number, nigga.
What you do, OG? How you?
Yeah, because all they can tell you is no.
Right.
That's all they can say.
I'm telling what I'm kind of learning vicariously through him and what he's telling me too, and what I've been active. I told him this week. I said I done probably got more no's this last week. And I'm coming off a Lupe Fiasco interview. I'm coming off of the Storm DeBarge interview. Like, I'm coming on all these. I'm still getting no's, or I'm not even like, no's is not a problem. I love no's because at least I have like a definitive answer and I can stop hitting niggas up.
Right.
It's the being left in the gray area.
Like, you don't know. Like, you don't know. Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I gotta hit you. I gotta hit. So now I'm getting to that place where it's like, I need to get to more no's so I can stop feeling like this. What you feeling right now, I just feel like that is I found it's a byproduct if you need more of those. You need more of uncomfortable because every time you do that, you getting closer to the one that's about to change all of this. Because even like the Lupe one, bro, like I had to do almost 200 something reaction videos, and mind you, I didn't even want to do reaction videos when I first got into it. I was doing tutorials for producers. I was doing like mental health content. I was doing all this kind of other shit for producers and artists. I never wanted to make content about other people. Right? I had a homie growing up that was like, man, don't ever talk about no other man business. When I'm young and I'm hearing this shit, and I'm like, yeah, that's the motto. When I get into this space, it's the same way. I never want to be gossipy, none of that shit.
Yeah.
But I got in this space and I realized, like, no, you just being a bitch. Because you talk about this with your homies. But you put a camera in front of you, all of a sudden you PR. Like, you PR. So
can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Sorry if I cut you off.
No, you good.
Because I hear people saying that nowadays barbershops is the new like they act like No, they said, because I was watching, I don't remember what podcast it was, but they was like barbershops became more like feminine, and they trying to be like, because of the fact that we go to the barbershop and we have these conversations and we talk and express ourselves and stuff. So they like, oh, it became more feminist and stuff. And I'm just like, nah, it's just, that's what we're talking about.
I think it's involved.
Well, I understand that you got to catch the play. The whole play is, and whoever put it out there, but it's a play. The play is that they don't want us to, to sit and talk and powwow with each other. So they say, oh, you niggas is being emotionally involved and aware. That's sassy. That type of shit. And I'm like, I'm sassy because I know how I feel. I got kids. Right. You better feel some type of maternal energy. It's going to be a warrior all the fucking time with kids. You know what I'm saying? So, no, you told me you got kids. So, yeah, and I do too. Everybody, so we all fathers. So, yeah, you get it. You can't just be all the time.
Especially if you got a girl, too.
But see, we come from
I hear.
We come from that era where you get hurt on the football field, your coach or your dad said, man, put some dirt on
that shit up.
That is great.
Yeah. And you're like, damn, I can't feel. Like, I'm hurt. My leg, bro.
Let me tell you, one of the things that fucked me up before my grandfather passed away, because he was going through a lot of things where, like, he was kind of losing his wherewithal. Appreciate it. Towards the end, though, I started to get him know him a little more because he's military background, right? He don't do all that stuff you talking about right now. That's him all every day, like walking off and then all of this. But one of my relatives told me that he was going to therapy before he passed away, and that fucked me up because here I was embarrassed that I went and got therapy from like during the pandemic. Actually, I went to like BetterHelp or whatever. I went and got therapy, and I was like, "You better not tell your family that because then they gonna start asking questions like, what's wrong with you?
Are you good?
Are you think better?" Because you got, so I didn't even bring it up, but when I heard that, I was like, to me, that's a sign that whatever was the tradition before is evolving into something else because we at least taking them chances and having them opportunities. So I'm with you, Amon, that I feel like that's part of, it's a play, but I think we know better. We know better to see that. I feel like every generation, even now, when I look at, the homie was telling me about Gen A after Gen Z, and he was like, Gen A is going to be one of the first ones that they're not going to want to hear the positive affirmations and all of that shit. They're not gonna trust you if you all positivity. Like they want to know, like, because they came up on like, the fucking internet and all of the porn, all of this shit that's up here now. They came up, that was their upbringing on these devices. Now they want to hear more authentic stories, and I feel like that causes all of us to be to dig deep and to be more transparent about things that before you might have been embarrassed.
So do you think it's hard to try to push positivity on certain people?
I think it's the way you package it. I think positivity, I think it's one of the things where it's like, we know water good for us. We know we need water. Right. I don't feel like drinking water. If I see the juice, if I'm looking at like that white crayon, you talk about that white crayon.
Ooh, white crayon, great.
You put that in the DM. So I see that in the liquor store. But I'm like, you see that?
That's right.
My brain would just be like, I don't want no water. But it's a matter of, okay, but what happens when you dehydrated, you got a migraine, all of a sudden that water is heavy. So I look at the positivity and I realize the reason why a lot of people weren't fucking with me is because they thought my positivity was fake. Not realizing that the reason I exude so much positivity is to like control them demons in me.
That's a blessing.
Right? If I'm showing you the negativity in me, I'm just gonna be 10 times worse the person I'm trying to work on right now. So I'm giving you this because this is therapy for me, but what I didn't realize, and I had this talk with Glasses, he was like, you sometimes when you get to a place of healing, you detach yourself from the people that you can help the most. Because now you in a space where, like, you think about, like, the Mr. Morale album and Kendrick, and he got to this place where there was a point where I started seeing the narrative kind of switching around, am I still connected to this music? I love the music. From where I'm at, I loved it. But I saw the disconnect, and I started looking, and I'm like, but this whole thing that happened, the whole thing has been about culture. This whole thing has been about culture. It's been about culture, and it's been about connecting to all these things. So now positivity for me, I don't believe you unless I know you human. So I'm bringing it back full circle with the whole Lupe thing. I didn't want to do reaction videos because it's causing me to speak about niggas that I've never met. And I know I'm going to cross paths with you. So now my thing was, I'm not going to say nothing that I would never say to them. to their face. I don't care if it's Drake. I don't care if it's none of that. I don't care who it is. And so that brought Lupe to one of my live streams. Lupe Fiasco, I'm like, you one of the greatest rappers of this time. But he jumped in my chat, and we not here for a friendly interview. I'm reacting to him, what it feels like him, what I interpret is him hating on Kendrick. I got the whole video laid out. This shit about to be about 45 minutes. I'm doing this shit live, and he's like, send a super chat, what we doing here? And the homegirl Courtney, who's one of my moderators, was like, he in here, in all caps. And I'm like, the moment I started feeling like my heart, I said, fucking ask him to come on. I type in there, I said,
blood passion.
I said,
nigga,
it would be dope to have you come in here and let's talk about this on camera. And as I'm typing that, part of my brain is like, hey, what are you doing? This is probably gonna be the biggest interview you ever had. You're not prepared. I like to prepare for my shit. I like to do my research. And so I'm like, this is probably gonna be the biggest argument. Shut up. Not the argument. This is gonna be the biggest interview you about to ever have. I had to tell that boy, shut up. Shut up. We gotta focus. We gotta lock in. He get in there, and that video is controversial in itself because some people feel like, I let him talk his points, and he said a lot of shit that could come off as arrogant or things that he could say, but I had to go through the things that I went through to have that kind of patience
to actually listen and grasp.
To listen, but then also stand on my points.
Okay, yeah.
Because like I could have easily been like, well, you one of the greatest in this. Who am I to say? And it was like, no, nigga, you're you. You've done this. You've been here long enough so where you can hold your points. Yeah. And I felt like that to me was me showing myself that in those situations I won't buckle on any of these things. So now because of that work, it's opening up other doors. But once again, as Mom said, friction was at the heart of that. So now I'm looking at like, not that I'm looking for more friction, but I'm kind of looking for more friction in that if it's too safe, if it's too squishy, if it's too soft, like if it's too like safe, I'm doing something wrong. I'm not saying go out there and find something dangerous, but I'm saying like there's real conversations people are having right now about culture that we need to have. There's conversations about what it means to be a man and how that's evolved, what it means to be a father. And we need to have these hard conversations because 10 years from now, they're going to thank us for having these on podcasts. Because we're going to have archives of them for them to go through. For our generation before, it used to be audiobooks. Now for us, it's going to be podcasts.
So can I ask a question? Because how long have you been in San Diego?
Now since like 2017.
Okay.
Yeah.
So being from LA and going to San Diego, do you feel like San Diego and Oakland is the little brothers of LA?
I don't feel like that, but I do understand why some of the artists from these areas feel like that. Right? Because there's some artists that have so much pride in their regions that they don't give a shit what anybody else says.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I had a unique point of view in that I felt like that when I moved from LA to the IE, and I realized like how much of a chip on the shoulder a lot of artists had, because it was like, they don't take us serious, they be trying to say we in the boonies, And so I heard all of this, and then when I started even seeing some of like the history of the friction back and forth, I started seeing that, but I realized that's why we exist. That's why people who, like myself, I'm a hybrid of all of these different areas. I lived in all of these areas and I got the full cultural experience. So now, what's she gonna say to me? Because whatever you say negative about that, I'm gonna feel a certain type of way. Whatever you feel about negative about this, I'm gonna feel. So I look at it and I think they feel that way, but I think a lot of that is shifting because, a lot of the new talent that's coming up is coming out of these new areas.
It's true.
And then also too, we all got family. Like it's crazy how much, people talk about ain't nothing to do with the IE. Remember one time a DJ told me, he was like, you understand that the IE accounts at that point in time for 60% of the revenue in Hollywood every weekend? So they out here. I mean, not here, but they out here in Hollywood, right? That's out of the city. But like, I look at that and I'm like, no, I got no folks who live in LA, got cousins in Mobile. Or, this just, at the end of the day, I think, once again, I go back to what Iman said is, who starts these narratives and what's the goal?
Yeah, that's true.
What's really the goal?
Internet,
because when I say I go to certain parts of San Bernardino, I was like, this shit feel like LA again.
Oh, God.
I go to the Nick Check Cash and I'm like, oh, shit.
But you at the Knicks, you know where you at. If you at the Knicks, if you anywhere around the Knicks, you know where you at.
I think
Any check cash in the box, yeah.
Look, I lived in LA for like Carson. I lived in Long Beach. I lived in Downey when I went to high school for a second. I went to college in Cerritos. Like I done been in a few different places. I've been out here my whole life.
Lakewood, Bellflower.
Eastside, way, nigga.
Yeah, I used to Lakewood. Matter of fact,
how do you feel? How do you feel? Like, do you feel like Bellflower and Lakewood and shit is like separate?
I was born in Bellflower.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't have no memories, but I was born in Bellflower. But you said, what was the question?
I was gonna say, like, do you feel like it's a separation from, like, you know, because that's still LA County.
Lakewood was different. No, I'm gonna be honest.
I used to be in Lakewood a lot.
No, I ain't gonna lie to you. But I used to like when I first got my car and I started driving my little Ford Taurus. Pops gave me the Ford Taurus. I was driving it from Carson. I was driving all the way to Lakewood, and I'm like, no disrespect, this thing is different.
It's different over here.
Different. It's no hate, but I'm like, I'm in this. I'm like, it don't feel like we that far away for y'all to be this different.
Yeah, I lived out there for 12 years.
Yeah, I had homies that lived because I used to stay in Paramount, but I went to school in Hamilton.
You went to Hamilton.
So I went to Hamilton, but when I was going to Hamilton, I was living in Paramount. You feel me? Paramount High School is a school that YG went to.
I went to Paramount.
You went to Paramount too?
Was it East Campus where they had a freshman there? I went there for 1 year.
Oh wow! Yeah,
I got robbed, and Mama was like, "You taking your ass down."
So understand, my mom was never about to let me go there. But then again,
look, your mom. I'm gonna interrupt, but the first time I ever got called nigga with the ER was when they had black against Latino situation going on.
Oh yeah, they used to have the black and Mexican riots.
Somebody told me, and I'm like, and mind you, that's how like segregated it was, where they look at me, they don't know if I'm Puerto Rican or what I am.
Right.
But he said, hey, give me the answer to this question. I'm gonna tell you, said F all Mexicans here. And he said, you know what that's gonna do for your lunch?
Damn.
And I'm like, I don't know nobody here. I don't got no backup. Like that's why I low key got into I joined the basketball team because I was like, that's where all the niggas at. Ain't nobody else here. I couldn't blame, but I was like, I need to know what we
This is squad now. This is squad now. We ready to crash out.
So wait, I interrupt your story. I want to make sure I get you. What you get into?
I want to know if you got an answer real quick. I just need to know. Did you give him an answer, or did you? When you said your voice?
Nah, the teacher interrupted us. Oh, thank God. That was God stepping in, because for what I probably would have said, I got a hot head, bro. I got a stupid hot head sometimes, and I don't say that proudly.
Yeah.
I do shit where I'm like, even in a situation like, you know, you about to get fucked up, right?
Right.
And I still do it, and I'm like, dog, that's not good.
And that's why you need him on there.
That's why.
Chill out. Chill out, bro.
I'm gonna tell you, we gonna run, but we gonna get their ass later.
And then you talk to the nigga in the car like, bro, what the fuck you was saying?
Wait. I'm not, Mom, I don't want to put that out there but you put it on video. Your mom was mad at me about that Lupe interview. You want to know why you was mad about that Lupe interview?
Why you was mad?
This must I know it's my bro. You reminded me. I know this is my bro, but you
I was mad because I didn't like how he was talking to Curtis.
Oh yeah.
You feel me? And I felt like I wanted Curtis to pop off on him.
Go up.
You know what I'm saying? Because Lupe was just speaking to him in a very condescending manner, which he does a lot of interviews just like this. You know, and he was trying to sun Curtis, I felt like. And I'm like, and this is where you gave it to him. You said, hold up, this is my platform.
Yeah.
I said, exactly, nigga.
You like, where we at? What we doing? There you go. There he is. There he is.
But you know what? I don't know. To be honest with you, and I'm not putting no extras on it. I don't know if that comes out as natural as it did if we're not having these conversations. Because once again, there's a fight going on between media trained Curtis, Carson Curtis, the Eastside Curtis, all this, or that's the Curtis Dewan. Fuck that, that's Dewan. That's not even Curtis. That's Dewan.
Eastside Dewan.
So there's a fight, and there's been moments where people look at me and they're like, I never would have thought you would have reacted like that. I'm like, that exists all the time. That's why I give you so much of this positive fucking content. Because if not, if you saw it, I got exes right now that's like, this is bullshit. That nigga's an asshole.
Yes, sir.
And they're not all the way lying.
That nigga,
accountability.
Like I'm not saying I didn't do great shit, but I'm like, they're not lying. There's been some moments where I'm like, I learned, okay, I read in a book one time and it's fucked me up. It said, what's the one thing that all of your bad relationships have in common? And I think the next page was a finger pointing at you.
I was just thinking that in my head. I was like, damn, probably me.
Yeah.
I was thinking in my head, like, damn, probably me. Damn.
No, like you start talking to the homie, you start blaming all this shit on them.
Yeah.
Like, man, her problem was this. Her problem was this.
Yeah.
Her problem was this. And it's like, why you keep picking them? That was me that was picking them all. I sure did.
Damn, nigga, yeah, that's me. Yeah.
And I'm here. I'm like, I be letting so much shit slide. Like I be like, it's not working.
You was making a point though about Paramount. I don't want to railroad that. You was talking about
Paramount.
You going to
Paramount. You making a good point too about you wasn't gonna be at a Paramount school, but you were like something about Paramount. You were making a point of.
You were saying that you lived in Paramount, but you
look. I'm trying to get what they look.
That's why
it's so long ago.
That's why he said move on. He was like, nah, it's all good.
I see him. He's trying to
I'm conversation with my brother, and he'll interrupt me, and I'll be like, damn, I forgot what I was saying.
Yeah, like
That's my fault.
that's my main thing.
Yeah. Oh God.
I just need the context of what we was talking about.
Saying that Bellflower in LA was different.
Oh,
Yeah.
So what I was saying is that me living in Paramount and having homies that went to that high school, their experience was very different when we would come back home. So I'll be coming back home from Hamilton and they come back from Paramount and they telling me shit like that. Nigga, we just had a race riot at school. And I'm like, somebody came to my school and stole everybody's sidekicks. That's to let you know the difference right there. Because again, at Paramount, you ain't stealing everybody's sidekick. It's finna be a rumble. But at Hamilton, I was like, take it.
My thing is riot. The word riot gets thrown around. It wasn't enough of us to be a riot when we was. I mean, I got to be
150 niggas.
My thing was this, like I was more scared of my pops than anybody there.
Yeah,
because I know I got to deal with his ass when I get home.
Come on.
I'd be like, you know what? You got it. I'm going. If Keith, if I got to deal with Keith Howard, oh hell no. Because he gonna at a certain point when I was younger, he gonna make me feel all of the shit that I did wrong.
My first time witnessing like the race riot was because I went to King Drew, so it wasn't that many Hispanics.
Man.
It wasn't that many Hispanics at King Drew.
Yeah.
So just a little bit. But then we didn't have summer school, so it was me, it was AD, Armand, and my cousin Kier, and it was like three of them. That we all had to go to Centennial for summer school. Ooh. So AD is there with Centennial. Like you said, like I remember earlier you said Sinbad. They called this nigga. Man, I swear to God, Centennial was like the best time of my life. Nigga, every day all the Bloods would be in there calling AD Sinbad, nigga, Sinbad, blood.
You know what's, wait. You know you just helped me connect something?
What?
80 to this day will still call me Baby Sinbad, even though I haven't gone by that.
He got you fucked up.
I gotta bring that up.
He fucked up. He got you fucked up because they used to call it. Hey, they used to he said with so much like. Baby Sinbad. He crazy. Hey, they crazy. Nigga, I swear to God, that was the funniest shit that I would hear every day. They be like, Sinbad, blood, Sinbad, blood. They'd be on that nigga every morning at Centennial, nigga. It was me here. Yeah, tell nigga. Hey, how the nigga say, hey, we use that Centennial, and they call you Sinbad.
He never brought that up.
He ain't gonna bring it up.
I didn't see him.
He trying to throw that shit on somebody else. That's what
he was doing now.
He was like the grip up there, but everything was cool up there at Centennial, and that's when they was like, man, like
it's always love though. He always did it with love though. It was never. He was
yeah, I know.
I call myself because he would be like, no, Baby Sinbad, but that was funny.
Because my thing about AD, like I connected him with glasses too when he was in at King Drew, and he came through. He had the tattoo. This was a tattoo. His niggas they had tattoo. He had his shirt rolled up with his microphone. AD tap. Everybody like, oh my God! I'm like, nigga, get this, roll your shirt down, nigga.
What's
lay that shit here?
That's funny as hell.
Look, what's crazy about you saying King Drew? You know that's like I tell two different stories of the name of Curtis King. The original story, we was a production duo. Me and my homeboy John and a bunch of my other friends that I graduated Curtis Middle School with. We all went to Curtis Middle School. John and the homie Chris went to King Drew. And so when me and John came back to start making music, we was trying to be the next Neptunes out of Carson. That was our thing, right? It was like, damn, Curtis King. literally half my name is Curtis Middle School, and it's King Drew Medical Center because he went there. He graduated from there. So anytime I hear the name, I'm like, do I tell that story? I do it because now my shit is like, when I was in Curtis, I had insecurities. So when I conquered those, I became Curtis King. And it's like that's the media story.
That's the back end.
That's the one I'm gonna tell to the world.
Hey, I gotta put that in the book.
Yeah.
This one was different though because he went to King Drew Medical Center. We were trying to figure out like how can we combine both those worlds together. So we came up with Curtis King.
That's crazy.
Then I got that shit tatted, and he was like, I can't do this no more.
That's dope.
I think that's
I guess I gotta rebrand this shit now.
Damn, like let me go.
King Drew. I was like, nah, he left the group. He he has some things going on. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all having us out.
We
appreciate y'all coming.
We about to jump right back in this studio again and finish out this podcast.
We appreciate you coming, man. You didn't have to, but you did.
Come on, I appreciate you sending the invite.
We trying to do. We building something. Yeah. We because it's like it ain't too many East Side niggas that really doing this shit. Like we just trying to be the voice. You know, the voice of the East Side. You know, we get a bad flack on the internet. The East Side get a bad flack. It's grimy over there. It's nasty over there.
Don't trust no East Side nigga.
I say it's beautiful. That's home. That's home.
What we said last night, even the air tastes different.
Yeah, I said, hey, we're gonna drive. Hey, we're gonna drive. As soon as we got into the freeway, I was like, ooh, this East Side air smells way better.
Nigga, what happened when you was like, hey man, I wouldn't advise going around over here? I was like, nigga, I'm good.
That's all it is.
I just want to make sure. I don't want to get to walk into this shit. And he's like, nigga, why you ain't telling me?
Yeah, because he told me, he was like, yeah, they said they was going to go to the store. And I was like,
you let him go by themselves?
No, you let him go. I said, he was like, yeah. I said, nigga, you good? Like, he was good. Like, I'm being sure. Yeah. But he sounded like we, like I told K-Boys, we got our different personality over there. We come with a chip. We was born with a chip.
Yeah, respectfully, on the West Side, I've never felt that much pressure.
Yeah.
In Compton and their play, I be feeling way more pressure.
It's a lot. It's just
That's no disrespect.
It's because you don't walk out and just see reality. It's just you walk out to reality and you just like, damn, like I gotta go hard. I'm trying to put us on. I'm doing this for all of us. And it ain't just like a few of us. I'm trying to put all the whole East Side on. Nigga, give us a voice.
And that's the thing about it. That's why y'all are so needed. When I saw it pop up on my timeline, it wasn't nothing about like, well, let me go to their archives. As soon as I started seeing what y'all were talking about, I said I gotta get on here.
That's a blessing.
And then you DM me.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. You DM me, right? You DM me, and I'm like, it's gonna happen.
You know what's funny? I seen when I see your comment, I was like, I ain't gonna hit anybody right now. I was like, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna give it some time. I was like, nah, just hit him up. He's probably a cool dude. I'm fighting myself. I'm fighting myself.
I'm like, don't get him. I'm gonna look thirsty. Just like, let's chill. You ain't never commented like, nigga, who is you? What if they don't know who I am? What if they like, who is you, dude?
I swear to God, that's the same thing going in my head. I was like, God, that
so y'all fight with each other. Y'all just going at it. Y'all niggas just going at it.
But see, that to me, that's how it is when you respect your craft, you respect people, you respect your time first. You can't respect yours in order to respect somebody else's. I just think we in that time now, especially with all of the light and all of the energy that's just on the West in general. Yeah, we gotta call it in favors right now.
Yeah,
we have to
look out for each other.
And if the answer is no, let it be known. Let it be known.
It is what it is.
So I can stop wasting my energy space on what if.
Right.
Yeah, because I ain't making this seafood boy for no reason.
I'm taking it home. I'm taking it home for a reason.
Last question, you can give a 2-second. Yeah. How did you feel when Not Like Us came out? What was going through your mind when you heard, dun, dun, I see that baby?
When I heard, my first reaction was Kendrick Mustard. When I heard Mustard's tag, I was like, oh, it's
over. No. It's kind of over.
You're dead.
It's kind of over.
Yeah.
It's kind of over. It's over.
This conversation was already over at Meet the Grams, and then I saw that. I said, oh, the next day?
What did he do? What's wrong with this dude? What's wrong with this dude?
And then when I heard Lamar saying it.
When he said that, I said at the back, I lost my shit. And we still say that in the studio now. He's like, I said at the back. I said, oh, he's channeling all of that energy here. And then when I saw the pop-out show, and the first folks that's on the show is all folks that would fit perfect into a playlist. Yeah. If this is your only introduction of what West Coast music sound like or LA music sound like, he just gave you a whole playlist.
That perspective.
Because then what happens is maybe they enter there, but then like they get to know some of the artists that we know, like the homegirl El Camille we was talking about, like folks that represent different sounds out here.
Yeah.
And then even the other people that
come like a disc EP.
A whole EP.
Of this song.
Of this song, right? The homie Justin from the company, man, he said he called it the I Hate Drake EP.
Yeah.
That's what that is. But when I first heard that song, all I could think of is I Miss Home.
Yeah.
Because it was looking so wild out here for years after the Nip passed, after Kobe, after you started seeing what happened with the pandemic. The point of view that I had, because I wasn't out here like that. Like all my family is black and others.
No more,
I couldn't see it. When I came out here, I was asking questions like, is it really anywhere near as bad as what they trying to make it on the news and all of this? And they was like, nah, it's not. But then some people, I can talk to some of the homies and I recognize the energy was different. When I saw that, and I saw the spirits getting lifted, I started looking at the timeline. I was like, dog, I miss home. I miss
I just
home.
want to be out there just to hear that shit.
I just want to be out. And I wanted to go to the pop out, but God was like, nah, I'm gonna give you this food poisoning. Chill on out. So, but I listened to that, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, there's a window opening for everybody that got something to say.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's important that in this time period, somebody go back and study this time period and be like, I'm glad they came together. What was you doing? So that's even our question. When you reached out, I'm like, I'm here.
Appreciate that. This is the Backhouse, man. This is another great episode.
My boy Iman in the building, Curtis in the building.
Iman in the scene, man. We in this motherfucker. I appreciate y'all for blessing the Backhouse with y'all presence, and I pray that y'all make it to where y'all going.
And shout out to TLau Seafood Shack. How you feel about that seafood boil, man? He gonna take it. Hey,
lid on. I put this lid on. Usually you keep the lid off. You don't plan on eating it. You're like, no, I'm good. I'm
gonna leave it there.
I'm taking it.
No, we got a rule that if you don't eat it all, it stay here with us.
That's
Don't
have four, you know, niggas some deep fried niggas. Like, you want nigga half
in the plate, nigga.
I guess we gotta.
I guess I got another 31 minutes.